You and the two. It's your boy Truck Will, trucking it like always, trying to make this money, trying to make this dough. Now, for all those who know, there's a company out there that people are going to. Now, I have personally never worked for this company, but I know somebody that has worked for this company for an extensive amount of time, and he's going to give you guys some insight as I ask him questions. Next on Trucking with Trucker Will. So we're here with Trucker Hogan, and we're trying to get some insight on how his experience was at CRST and the T.
A joke.
So, Trucker Hogan, how did your experience at CRST start?
How did it start?
Yeah, how did it start?
Well, at first, everything was fine. Orientation, everything like that went real smooth. I should have realized it wasn't a good company to work for when they gave me my truck, and I still had to wait 4 friggin' days for a load. But then once I got a load, I was rocking it out. I mean, I was getting any of my settlements take home were anywhere between $2,000 and $3,000 a week. And then out of nowhere, it just...
Trucker Hogan, how was the equipment at CRST?
Well, they don't let you pick your own truck. So you get to choose between a list of them, and you get your top 3, and they give you one. That's it. And you go look at it, see if it's good to go, and everything like that. Luckily for me, my truck that I got, the maintenance records and everything on it were really good. The only downside was it had 630,000 miles, give or take, on it. And it ran solid. I had one problem with the motor, but like the little things, like when it would rain, my truck would, literally it felt like it was raining inside the truck. The seals and everything like that were all busted around the windshield. It got so bad that rain was dripping down onto my radio and shorted my radio out. And I didn't have radio for the last 2 months that I was there.
So, Trucker Hogan, from what I've heard, and you can elaborate on this, that as a lease operator at CRST, you can book your own loads. How was that?
They say that you can book your own loads, okay? They don't help you find the information. They don't give you the proper MC number, DOT numbers, well, your DOT number's on the side of the door, but they don't give you the MC number, and then there was one other number that they needed. So it took me tooth and nail trying to get a hold of the person to get that. Once you get that, nobody teaches you how to broker loads or anything like that, so it was more of fight or flight. You had to figure it out on your own. And then CRST, excuse me, CRST tells you that, oh yeah, if you broker a load, it'll be paid out to you on the following settlement. I was like, all right, yeah, that's a win-win for everybody. So I start, CRST doesn't give me loads. I'm the kind of person that likes to run. So CRST's not giving me loads, so I'm on the phone with brokers right away, brokering a load to keep going. And before you know it, I go a whole week with brokering loads, and they're not on my settlement. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I call payroll. Payroll tells me, no, we wait until the broker pays us to pay you. So the information, again, that I was received was wrong. And that was just the downfall of going 5 to 6 weeks without a paycheck.
Trucker Hogan, I heard that they have a voluntary maintenance account that you can set up where you can put whatever amount of money that you want, cents per mile, of your load in that voluntary maintenance fund. So when you decided to leave, how long did it take them, and how willing were they to give you your emergency maintenance fund, voluntary maintenance fund, back to you?
Okay, so that is true. You can put into an emergency fund, voluntary maintenance account, but it's called different things at different companies. And you would think that being your money, you can pull from it any time you want. That's already been taxed. Like that's your money, all right? And it probably took me 5 days. No, 3 days. 3 days to get my emergency fund because I had to go through my operations manager to have him sign off through payroll to give me the money. Then they give me the money on my fuel card, which means I had to go authorize a comp data check for almost $1,000, and most places will not cash a data check for $1,000. So that was another headache all on its own.
So let me get this straight. You saying that you had to have somebody authorized to get your own money?
Yes.
Woo!
I was not allowed to call payroll up and take it out myself. I had to get permission from either my fleet manager or my operations manager. And at the time, my fleet manager was out for
X
some type
amount of
leave.
time.
So I had to go straight through my my operations.
So, Trucker Hogan, now we all know that CRST is a school that helps students get their CDL and go on into the trucking industry. So, how would you describe the training that CRST is giving its students?
I can only go off of what I would do for my students, but the packet we would have to go off of and the information that we would have to teach the students in order for them to upgrade was really extensive. I mean, there was you had to do a minimum of 20 straight line backs, 20 alley docks, including backing into shippers and receivers, all of that. And compared to at CR England, where I first started training, I mean, the CRST's training level is up here, which is something I don't understand, considering CRST is always on, Facebook for getting into this accident or that accident. But as far as my students go, they were trained really good.
So you could say that their training status, even though you had kind of a crappy experience on the lease side, their training was decent.
Yes, but the one thing that I do not like about CRST is, so a lead driver can take a student out. They train them for a month and everything like that, and then they don't have to go through an upgrade or a course with a actual state provided instructor to see if they are capable of driving on the road. They only go off of what the trainer says. So if the trainer approves them for upgrade, they get their truck and they go out.
But they didn't have to true team with somebody.
Yes, they have to true team with somebody.
So, Trucker Hogan, can you run solo at CRST and make money?
No, not at all. They will not give you loads pertaining to solo runs. They only have loads for team runs. So they force you to either do a true team as a lease op or be a lead driver, which is a trainer over there. So you're forced to have somebody on your truck regardless. Even though that's your truck, you're paying for it, okay, you should be able to go out solo or teams or whatever. That's your damn truck, your own business. You should be able to do what the hell you want with it. So no, you cannot run solo at CRST and make sufficient money to support your family and household.
So, Trucker Hogan, I know I've had a lot of questions for you, but this last question is gonna hit home. So, you already explained to us that you hadn't got paid for X amount of time. How much money did you leave on the table, and what was a turning point? Like, I can't do this anymore, even though you were brokering loads, trying to stay there. What was the turning point, and how much money did you leave on the table?
As far as money I left on the table, I probably left about $6,500 on the table when I left after not getting paid for 6 weeks and brokering loads left and right. It just got to the point where I ended up brokering so many loads that by the time CRST would give me a load, it would go directly towards my negative fixed cost. And when I was making money there and everything like that, it was good. It was consistent. I was making between $2,000 and $3,000 a week, like I had said before. And I tried sticking it out because it was only a 3-year lease, and and I'd own that truck, no balloon payment, no nothing. So I was trying to stick it out and everything like that. But the turning point was when I was trying to scrounge up pennies to put food on the table for my family. And, bills were getting behind and everything like that. And I just finally said, screw it. And now I'm here at Prime.
So, you left $6,500 on the table.
Yep.
You were brokering loads. Some people are going to say, how did you end up negative?
Because I ended up negative because the amount of loads I was brokering compared to loads that I was getting from CRST, I was having to wait that 20 to 30 days for that broker to pay the company and then for the company to pay me. So there was way more brokered loads than there were company loads. Like, for every one load I'd get from CRST, I would have 3 or 4 brokered loads, from that. that would finish out the week. So that's why I kept going negative and negative and more negative.
And you had nobody that was trying to help you get out the negative?
I was constantly on the phone with people trying to say, hey, you know, this is y'all's fault. You didn't pay. If they would have paid me compensation and deferred that one truck payment when I was in Montana for that 6 days broke down, I wouldn't be in the situation I am now.
Did they just did they just say, okay, here's you got the money in your account, you can fix it, or did they say, oh, well, we gotta wait?
Well, CRST does a bumper-to-bumper warranty, so I didn't have to come out of pocket at all for it. For the first 2 years of your lease, everything's covered but glass and plastic. So if it's anything drivetrain related, it's 100% covered, tow and everything. So I didn't have to come out of pocket for that, thank God. But the fact that they did not compensate me or anything like that to at least help me get through, I kept getting a lot of sorries and we'll try this, and no results. Nobody was putting out a helping hand. Nobody was trying to help me out of this. They just did not care whatsoever.
And you even called your manager.
I called the vice president of operations and talked with him, and then that's how I got my $360 for my empty move to do a transload in Kansas. Yeah, that's a whole other story for another day. But yes, they literally only helped me out with one situation out of a huge pile of situations that I was having go on. And they chose to help me out on the smallest one.
So they pretty much left you out there to die.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
Or could you say that they bent you over, told you to spread them, and said, here's CRST, just
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I like that way better, yeah.
No lube, right?
Nope, no lube whatsoever.
Straight dry.
Yep. I do not recommend anyone going to CRST. There are much, much, much better schools out there to learn how to become a truck driver, and that will take care of you after you get your CDL and everything like that. Do not, I repeat, do not go to CRST. You will be wasting your time, and you will cause more of a headache for yourself than good.
So the training is good, but if you go lease, don't even do it, because you're going to be stuck training.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. I've heard more horror stories on the company side than I have for lease side.
I remember you gave me a call and you said that one of their managers told you that there was multiple drivers that hadn't made a paycheck in 5 weeks.
Yep, I had called up explaining my situation yet again for the 100th time, it seemed like, and I was told, you're not the only driver I've heard this from. I've got 20 or 30 other drivers that are in the same situation you are. And the fact that a company is okay with that, it's not a company I want to work for.
Interesting. So, Trucker Hogan, how long did you have to sit on any occasional or time?
On any case, the longest I sat at CRST was 6 days. I busted a coolant hose going to my compressor in Montana, and they had to special order the part. So I sat 6 days there, did not receive compensation at all. They did not defer a truck payment like that they say they wouldn't in the contract. So they voided the contract right there. All right. But on average, I would sit 1 to 2 days after every single load, because CRST has shitty ass dispatchers in their freaking company, and they only dispatch you as soon as you get there. No matter what, if you send your ETAs, PTAs, nothing, that's all garbage. You might as well just throw it out the window because they don't care about it. You will literally sit for a day or two after every single load, regardless if you're solo, team, or a trainer.
So there's no, if you're a trainer or a lease operator, you get first dibs.
No. They don't care if you're lease, they don't care if you're company, regardless. It's
first come, first.
It's first in, first out.
All right, you in the tube. Like I said, I was going to bring you an in-depth interview with the former CRST driver that was trying to make money for his family and was getting reamed by the oh-so-coveted big, ginormous schlong of the trucking industry, and all he was getting was, sorry, we'll try to help. Anyway, guys, that's just an interview with one of many CRST drivers that are out there. Some people will say it's a great company, they're doing well, they're making money. Company side. Some will say, like my buddy here's story, he got put around the ringer, no help, Nobody cared, and he had to make a decision. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Be blessed, less stressed, keep the left door closed, right foot down, only when it's safe, guys. And like I always say, I will see you guys out there. Safe trucking. Later.